In the heart of a forgotten desert stood a kingdom feared by empires, worshipped by warriors, and whispered about by travelers. A land where every soldier carried a spear said to burn with the fire of their ancestors. This is the story of the kingdom of the burning spears, a civilization that rose from the ashes and waged a war that changed the ancient world forever. The desert was their shield. The mountains were their walls. And deep within the blazing dunes, the burning spears were forged. That spear became a symbol, a weapon, a prophecy. Under Arkan's rule, tribes united. Their civilization thrived, a beacon of strength and unity in the desolate sands. Every child was taught the story of the fallen star, and every warrior trained to wield a spear in its honor. The kingdom grew powerful, its influence stretching across the trade routes, its wealth attracting both allies and envious eyes. The burning spears were more than just soldiers. They were the guardians of a sacred fire, a legacy passed down through generations, a promise of power forged in the heart of the earth. In the Temple of Embers, priests uncovered an ancient warning, a prophecy carved thousands of years before the kingdom existed. When the sky burns twice, the kingdom will face its greatest enemy. For centuries, this warning was a mere footnote in their glorious history. Rulers ignored the prophecy, confident in their military might and the protection of their fiery deity. But confidence can breed complacency. Their focus remained on earthly threats, rival kingdoms, and marauding tribes, never once looking to the heavens for a sign of their doom. The priests continued their rituals, their voices echoing the ancient words, but their warnings fell on deaf ears. Then came the day the sun darkened. A second meteor, larger and more terrifying than the first, streaked across the sky like a flaming arrow. Its arrival shattered the desert peace. With it came omens. The earth trembled with violent quakes. Unnatural dust storms choked the air. And from the darkest corners of the known world, a mysterious enemy known only as the Shadow Dominion began to rise. The prophecy was no longer a story. It was their reality. The Shadow Dominion was not like other empires. They were an enigma, a force of nature more than an army. No one knew where they came from. Some believed they were exiles from a fallen civilization, twisted by vengeance. Others claimed they worshipped a forgotten god of darkness, performing unspeakable rituals to gain their power. But one thing was certain. They wanted the source of the kingdom's power. They wanted the burning spears. Their spies infiltrated cities, spreading fear and dissent. Their assassins struck down leaders in the dead of night, leaving behind only a whisper of their presence. They didn't seek land or gold in the same way other conquerors did. They sought to extinguish the light, to plunge the world into an eternal twilight. And the fiery heart of the kingdom was the first flame they intended to snuff out. When the Shadow Dominion invaded the first desert fortress, the kingdom of the burning spears responded with a fury born of desperation and pride. The war of flames had begun. The desert, usually quiet under the moon, lit up like a sea of fire. Warriors charged with their glowing spears held high, each tip burning like a falling star. Their polished bronze armor reflected the flames, turning them into a legion of walking infernos, a terrifying sight for any foe. From the command posts, the rallying cry echoed, "For the kingdom! For the spear!" The initial clashes were brutal and decisive. The Dominion's stealth tactics were countered by the sheer, overwhelming power of the spear's fiery assaults. The war claimed thousands of lives, leaving scars upon the land and its people, but neither side could gain a decisive advantage. It was a stalemate written in blood and ash. The Shadow Dominion, growing frustrated with the stalemate, finally unleashed their deadliest weapon, the Night Storm. This was no natural phenomenon. It was a massive, engineered sandstorm, a swirling vortex of black sand and lightning, capable of swallowing entire cities and scouring the flesh from bone. Its target was the heart of the kingdom, Arkan City. The once mighty capital, the crown jewel of the civilization, fell under a blackened sky. The howl of the wind drowned out the screams of its people. Temples that had stood for 1,000 years shattered like glass. The legendary spears, once symbols of invincibility, were buried under mountains of black sand. Even the Flamebearer's palace, a testament to their enduring power, turned to rubble. A survivor later recounted, with a voice trembling from the memory, the fire was dying, and so were we. The kingdom's spirit was broken, its greatest city lost, its people scattered and hopeless. The shadow had, for a time, won. But in the ashes of their greatest city, hope rose anew, fierce and unexpected. The new queen, Soraya Flameheart, a direct descendant of Arkan, emerged to unite the scattered warriors. She was not a queen who ruled from a throne, but one who walked among the ruins. Her presence, a beacon in the gloom. In a voice that rang with power and defiance, she declared, "Our fire does not fade, it burns brighter in darkness." Her words reignited the embers of their courage. Under her command, the remaining burning spears prepared for their final, desperate stand at the Valley of Embers, the sacred, cratered site where the first spear was born. It was a suicidal plan, a final gamble. As the legions of the Shadow Dominion descended upon them, a heartbeat of anticipation echoed through the valley. In the final, climactic battle, Soraya lifted the ancient Meteor spear of Arkan. It glowed brighter than ever before, pulsating with an impossible light. The desert itself seemed to respond, erupting with a blinding, divine light. The Shadow Dominion was not just defeated, they were annihilated, swallowed whole by the very fire they sought to control. History forgets many kingdoms. Their names are lost to time, their cities buried under sand or soil. But the kingdom of the burning spears lives on in legend. Their story is told around campfires, whispered on the desert wind. A people born of fire, who fought with fire, and whose legacy proves that even in the deepest darkness, a single flame of hope can burn bright enough to light up the world. Their flames, it is said, will never be extinguished. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of ancient epics, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with fellow history and fantasy lovers. We'll see you in the next story.